Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and that is Stephen Howson. Manchester United win on penalties at the Emirates. Strength, aggression, fight, passion, determination, and that was all just from Harry Maguire after giving that penalty away, Steve. It was a proper performance from Manchester United today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good to see the level of fight, actually. And, it's one of those where people sort of reduce football down a lot to just like, that's enough sometimes. It isn't enough at times, but it was absolutely required today. And I just said before we started there, like, it was nice to see that from us because I still don't see us creating enough chances to win games in terms of the chances that we do create. But we are absolutely difficult to beat. We are absolutely tough to break down. And we've seen like a lot of decent teams struggle to break us down. And we actually played off the back foot there today, which we have, and maybe even more so once the referee decided to make it 10 men. But we haven't really done that. People are going to just completely change the narrative about what happened when we went to Anfield, what happened when we went to the Etihad, what happened the first time around at the Emirates. It hasn't been the case. United under Amorim have not played sort of low block football and tried to play on the counter. Today we did, and actually we ended up getting a result from it, down to 10 men. But Arsenal didn't threaten us until we were 10 men. Like, they sort of let the shackles go a little bit once we got down to 10 men. They did not threaten us when it was 11v11.
Yeah. Just on the 11v11 thing, firstly, I think Dalot was one of the few decisions I thought that the referee annoyingly got right. It was a reckless, bizarre sort of diving in from Dalot. Did you think it was a second yellow? Would you agree with that at least?
I'm not even sure it was a foul, Joe. He makes absolutely zero contact with him.
Yeah.
When you see some of the things that happen in the game that are fouls, I've seen Arsenal fans all over my timeline going on that we should have been down to 8 men because there was 2 elbows in the game. Like, why are we focusing on that? And the commentary in the game actually focused on the one with Højlund on Saliba. Like, if Harry Maguire did that to Gabriel Jesus, that would be given as a foul against Manchester United. The way that Saliba was all over him, completely two-handed, not attempting to do anything with the ball, just locking him down. That is a foul, right? Yeah. You don't get to the point where Højlund's waving his arms around and he makes contact with his arm. That's not a foul. Right? He's not turned around and gone, bosh, have one of those. He's waving his arms around and one of his arms catches him. Not a foul, right? And the same with Dalot. I could argue both of them were really, really soft. And you could argue that either of them didn't need a booking. Like the first one, he doesn't know there's an Arsenal player there.
No.
He's not looking at that. He's gone to make a block on the ball and caught an Arsenal player. I don't even think he knew he was there. So you could argue that might have been a free kick because he's impeded him. Is it a yellow? Debatable. And then the same for the second one. He's dived in. He's reckless. He's given the referee a decision to make on whether it was a foul or not. But I don't think it's the absolutely guarantee. If he makes contact, yeah, but he doesn't make contact. So are we just like, you don't get goals for threatening the fucking goal, do you? You have to make the ball go in the back of the fucking net. So why are we booking people that don't make fucking contact?
Yeah, I do get your point. I just think if their player doesn't jump over him, then the contact is, he's avoiding that contact. It's a grey area, but...
Yeah, and if you don't stick it in the back of the net, Joe, you don't fucking score.
Yeah, no, fair enough. On one thing we can definitely agree on, let's move forward a little bit. We're going to go back to United's goal and some other bits, but the penalty, while we're on the referee, how stood where he stood in a good position, just on the edge of the 18-yard box, how does he think Harry Maguire fouls Kai Havertz there? How do you think he gets to that conclusion?
Joe, not only that, but he thinks it in the same frame of mind that didn't think that Bruno Fernandes was fouled at the other end.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you have to put yourself in, that mentality. So it's not just a case of like he's been deceived here by Havertz and he's given a penalty. No, what was it, half an hour or something earlier, 40 minutes earlier, he went, that's absolutely not a free kick, but that absolutely is a foul. It was fucking ludicrous from start to finish, Joe. Yeah. And it wasn't just a case of like, these are the big incidents here that we're talking about, but it was one where Gabriel's just gone to sort of like hold it up against Garnacho and thrown himself on the floor. The one where Martinez ends up getting a yellow card, that sequence of play starts from Timber taking the throw in 20 yards further up the fucking pitch from where it went out. And I don't even think it was an Arsenal throw in from where it fucking went out either. Like, He couldn't have been a worse referee.
Yeah, it was appalling.
My head completely fucking fell off, Joe. I'm sitting there thinking, this is a Paddock game. I am fucking fighting the referee and the opposition manager. There is no fucking way. My head had completely fucking gone. Yeah. I'm just thinking about who's getting fucking banjoed. I'm thinking about fighting in my house, and it's only me and my daughter in here.
Don't do it. It's not her fault. Just on that though, was the part of you that was almost not proud, but kind of happy that the likes of Maguire and Ugarte and Garnacho and Martinez kicked off after that penalty happened? They didn't just go, oh, just our luck, we were 1-0 up and now we're going to go 2-1 down. They stuck, Garnacho and Ugarte in particular, scrapping with Kai Havertz. Did you like that we actually showed a bit of, you know what, this is a fucking joke, have a bit of this?
Yeah, Joe, I love that shit regardless.
I knew you did. I knew you did.
I fucking love that shit. So, yeah, I'm always going to... Now, would you rather Harry Maguire kicking off, doing that, or doing that fucking fringe thing that he does when he's fucked up? Yeah. No, I would rather him steam in there with a big melon that he's got and stick it on someone. Yeah. Let's fucking put it to good use. Yeah. Because it was a tragedy. It was the same with Bruno. How's Bruno Fernandes got a fucking yellow card for getting fouled? And he's telling the referee, my fucking boot came off. Do your fucking job. Up, have a yellow card. Bosh. Yeah. And it's like, okay, by the letter of the law, it is dissent. You can't say that shit to the referee. But the same way when Dalot got 2 yellows back against Liverpool, whenever the fuck it was, with Michael Oliver. Yes, by the letter of the law, I completely agree, but we should have every single fucking Premier League game ends up with 9 against 7 because every fucking player argues exactly the same way that he's just argued. Why is it United get treated differently? Fucking refs, honestly. Fuck a lot of them.
Just moving on.
If you're a ref, you've got no fucking mates and you need to fuck off. How about that? At every level. And I know we ain't got a game without you, but you can all fuck off.
Yeah, you're absolutely crucial to football and its existence, but... What's Steve said?
But I hate you and fuck off.
Just moving on to some United players then. Bayindir in particular and Joshua Zirkzee as well, both have been sort of, not necessarily villainised, it might be a bit of a strong word, but, you know, people have not been sort of too kind to them in the last couple of weeks. Both with big performances today. Zirkzee with a winning penalty, but I thought he held the ball up and played well. And Bayindir saving 2 penalties. Like, what do you think they're thinking and they're feeling right now?
I think Bayindir might have made more penalty saves than he did completed passes, which is mental. But it was good to see from him that he had a little bit of fight in him because you need that to play for Manchester United. You can't just be fucking rolling over and just accepting whatever's flung at you. I do think it's good for Zirkzee. Whether or not he ends up sticking around at United or not, what happened at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago could have absolutely sent his career spiralling. So for him to score a winning penalty, I wouldn't call it necessarily redemption, but I'm fucking buzzing for him. Because he's probably going to play for United at least until the end of this season, I would expect, right?
Yeah.
If we're not going to finish 14th, we need him. You know, we need every single player that's available to us to have any sort of hope of salvaging something from this season. Whether that means going the distance in the FA Cup, whether that means doing it in the Europa. I'd be fucking absolutely flabbergasted if we managed to just finish top 4 on the league form alone. I don't know if that's even mathematically possible at this stage. We're going to need every single player available to us. Big call, resting Onana for this. Justified, I think it is, by the end of that. And, you know, I think the manager will be very happy with, like you said, a lot of the performance that he put out. Collier's come in, grafted his little nuts off. You know, we were extremely hard to beat. Said earlier, Arsenal didn't lay a glove on us while it was 11v11. And I didn't feel like they were going to win the game while it was 11v11, to be honest with you. I felt like United was going to win the game within the 90 minutes. So, you know, it was only when it went down to, 10 against 12 that they had any sort of hope of getting into the game whatsoever. And I've just seen fucking Lego head there on the telly saying that they should have won the game, they deserved to win the game by 1,000,000 miles. What? No, you didn't. Shut up, you absolute fucking sausage.
You mentioned Amorim before, and he obviously made a bit of a big call by bringing Bayindir back in. Couldn't have worked out any better, saving 2 penalties. Just in terms of him and him at United now, how big a week has he had? Like the Liverpool performance and result, and then the performance and result today. Two very different performances for me. The Liverpool one was you can go toe-to-toe with the best team in England, and today was you can fight for everything despite having potentially the ref and certainly a man disadvantage. Those two performances away from home, I think that's massive. What do you think sort of Amorim's will be thinking, and how big is that for him that week?
I would imagine he's happier today than he was 8 days ago.
Yeah.
You know, I think the situation that he found himself in 8 days ago, we still haven't actually won a game, you know. I know technically we're through, but you know that was a draw, really, wasn't it?
We won.
So like we technically have still got a hell of a long way to go. But yeah, I'm sure he's thinking that this project has got legs, and I think he'll be. I think every week he finds more and more out about certain players in the team, good and bad. I think that, you know, it's not all good, but it's certainly not all bad either. And I think he's learning about some of these players, and that's only a positive. Who he can trust, what they can do, who they work with, who they don't work with, what systems that they work with. You know, what are our strengths? I think our strengths show that we can absolutely defend in this shape. Our weakness currently is that we don't score enough goals in this shape. How do we score enough goals in this shape? And can we start to create more chances and score some more goals within this shape without compromising the defensive integrity that we've got? That's his job, literally. You know, we were better on the set plays today. That was good. You know, so I think that there's a lot of learning going on for him. I'm sure there's a lot of frustrations as well, but there's a lot of learning going on from him. And I think he's a much happier fella than he would have been 8 days ago, following that run that we were on, which was, I mean, after that Newcastle game, it was bleak, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's a hell of a lot happier now. And despite the fact that we still haven't won, you know, I'm sure he's in a much better mood.
And just lastly, Leicester in the next round. It was a bit weird. Like at the end of the watch-along, we were all chatting, going mad, and then it's like United are through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Like that felt like it should be we're on our way to Wembley. Not, you know, we could have had Stevenage today, and yet it feels like a big moment. Leicester in the next round, confident. Do you see us pushing on and trying to go for it, or do you think actually we've still got about 5 games before the final?
Fucking hell, Joe, far too far to go.
Come on.
You know what I mean? That really was a semi or a quarter final worthy kind of tie, wasn't it? United Arsenal. Manchester City again have got like Leyton Orient Derby, something like that. Like they literally get them in the Champions League. That's how they get fucking draws. United just get Premier League opposition no matter what. United could go into the fucking National League trophy and get fucking Arsenal drawn. So it's, you know, no surprises, a little bit disappointing, but it is what it fucking is, isn't it? You know, I'd love us to draw a Tamworth or a Leyton Orient or something like that. It doesn't happen.
No.
It just doesn't fucking happen.
No. Right, thank you very much, Steve. Big day for Man United, big day for Ruben Amorim, showing a bit of fight as well, not just, a bit lucky, this, that and the other. Fighting for a big win, absolutely massive. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to everyone for joining us at home. Hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Manchester United beat Arsenal on penalties, through to the next round of the Cup. We'll see you in a bit.